Can people change?
Yes.
Yeah, show of hands. How many people believe that people can change?
Yeah.
All right, if you're not raising your hand right now, we've got issues to talk about. But what's interesting is that anyone I have ever asked this question of has 100% of the time told me that yes, they believe people can change.
Most of us were never taught how to communicate well. What we learned in school and what has been modeled and incentivized in our careers and in our culture has left us in a place where we know how to exert our ideas, opinions, and beliefs onto others, but we miss the other side of communication, the extraction.
Debate, public speaking, and that is all about getting your idea out to somebody and exerting your opinions and your ideas on somebody. Every test in K through 12 and into college has a right and a wrong answer that you're being graded on. And so the entire teaching process is, I, the teacher, have the answer, I'm going to exert it on you, and you have to regurgitate that back to me.
This blind spot in our formal education leaves gaps in our ability to connect with each other through our words, especially when trying to lead others, navigate conflict, build trust, and inspire change. It shows up on stages, in meeting rooms, in living rooms, and everywhere in between.
How often do we like to be forced to change? Even when people have a medical condition and their doctor tells them, you have to eat better, exercise. How often do we ignore that advice because it wasn't our choice? And in the same way in sales and marketing, how often are we being ignored because we're trying to force people into a choice that is not their own? Because how do we all want to change? We all want to be inspired. We all want to receive, and we all want to learn.
I'm a former journalist, an author, and a communication expert. I believe everyone has a story to tell, and it's only when we ask questions and listen that we reveal what connects us. Our dreams, our desires, our experiences, our ideas, and what we stand for rather than what we are against.
We are quick to reduce everything into a false duality of choice. Right versus wrong, good versus evil, fair versus unfair. You're either with us or you're against us. And every comment that we contribute aims for the kill, for the mic drop moment, rather than being seen as an opportunity to learn and grow and share.
My aim is to encourage you to rethink what it means to be an effective communicator, to bring you perspectives and ways of looking at issues or topics that perhaps you haven't considered before, to teach you how to ask curious questions, how to seek understanding over certainty, and how to listen and give space so that ultimately you might truly communicate well.
Because if we're asking our employees to bring their whole true selves to work, that has to include their flaws as much as it has to include their strengths. And that's the thing about true change. While we all believe it can happen, true change actually often begins when we admit that we might need to be the ones to change first.